Welcome to Rod's Tabletop Hoops. Today we've got a bank shot basketball matchup between two teams from the 1988-89 season. I purchased these cards last year and I've gotten very little use out of them, so I decided to go with some good ones. This will be the Detroit Pistons, the NBA champions, against the third place, but not a slouch team, the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are led, of course, by Dominique Wilkins scoring 26.2. Moses Malone, he's in his later years, but this is one of his last super productive ones at 20 points and 12 boards. Guy's got to be in his mid to late 30s by this point. And the Hawks score about 111 points a game, as you can see on my custom-made envelopes. I kind of do that for seasons I'm not super familiar with. I did not have an 88-89 edition of any other tabletop season for a different game, so I decided when I got this for bank shot, it was going to fill the hole. 88-89, kind of an interesting year. The Hawks scored 111 a game, gave up 106. Pistons scored 106-6, but only gave up 101. And of course, as I said, the NBA champions with a balanced lineup: Lambier, Mahorn, Aguirre, Thomas, and Dumars. Now, I'm going to change it up a little bit for today. I'm going to have Adrian Dantley, the man who was traded after 41 games and 18.4 points per game. He will be playing in lieu of Aguirre. I'm doing the pre-trade. Adrian Dantley probably deserved an NBA championship ring, but of course, he wasn't always getting along with some of those bad boys. I think there's a documentary kind of talks about how Dantley and the bad boys just didn't quite get along, but either way, we're going to have the Pistons and the Hawks. Should be a pretty good game. We'll see how this works. I will put these envelopes aside here, and they're great reference tools, though, so I can know instantly what to put in the lineups and what not to put in the lineups. Interestingly enough, the Pistons team, it's loaded. They didn't trade that many guys away, but I think they've got a roster of 11 plus 6. They got at least 16 guys on this roster, if not more. And there's, with this game, they give you traded cards as well, so it always makes it feel like it's a bigger roster. This is a combined team card for John Long and Michael Williams. There's Detroit. There's his total card, his Pistons card, which I can play as well. They did acquire him, so he may get some time, but I got a deep bench on Detroit. And, of course, you have a team card as well for the Pistons. Each team, of course, comes with its fast break card as well. And that entails mostly just adjusting for the fast break defense. Both teams have a -1 fast break defense. So Detroit's offense on the fast break is going to be like an E, which is not very good. It's probably the lowest. And the Atlanta Hawks, by contrast, they were a B, but they'll get -1 as well from the Pistons, so they'll be a C on the break. So they actually have a chance of getting a basket on the break. I'm going to be using the dice and cards version. Now, there's a plus and a minus I've found so far in my bank shot basketball experiences. The plus is the fact that you can play this game with dice and cards, or you can play this game solely with cards, and so it gives you that flexibility to play the game in multiple ways. Some people are not crazy about dice. Other people think dice are a necessity. So me, I like a combination of play action, fast break deck, action deck here, and dice. The only thing I have as a negative for this game so far, and we'll see how it plays out today, is determining the number of action deck cards to use for every 6-minute increment of play. Now, the instructions, they indicate 42 cards, I believe, is the average. So you can use that as a baseline for every 6 minutes, 42 cards in the action deck. Fast break deck doesn't matter. You can be using it with dice. And there's a ton of fast break deck cards and fast action deck cards as well, about the same height for action. But that allows you to maybe, put a bunch of cards out, have your 6-minute increments ready for a couple quarters or so. But what I like is I had 42 I counted here, and then you take a look at the combined pace rating, there's a 0 for the Detroit Pistons. There's a +2 for the Atlanta Hawks. So that means based on that Atlanta team scoring 111 points a game, you bump it up 2 cards per every 6 minutes. So that should be easy enough. And the game should be easy enough to play. We'll play just a couple plays here to get it going. What do we got? You look at a fast break deck card for the jump ball, and it says jump ball home, and that's easy enough. And there's going to be things I'm not going to remember, so I'll have to do some looking up. I may freeze the action for a minute if I have a question mark. So anyway, home team has the ball. That is the Detroit Pistons, and they get the ball to the G2, which I got PG and SG. I'm using a replay board. The board's just smaller and less glary than the very glossy board for Bang Shot. That's not a total knock, but when you're doing camera and video, you just don't want to have everything shining too much. So the G2 is Dumars, and then you just simply, and it's versus the F2. He's actually being guarded by Dominique, but it's highlighted. The G2 is highlighted, so you're going to use his green, similarly highlighted offensive column. And that's what makes this game great. It's got very self-explanatory, but sometimes the dice rolls can be tricky. Let's see what we get here. And we roll on the offensive column for Joe Dumars. You roll the 2 D6s, the 2 D10s. You read off the D10, 63. So 63 is a turnover. So Joe's going to get a turnover. Offensive foul, and here's where you got to really look at all the components here of Bang Shot basketball. If I'd rolled an 11 or 12 with the 2 dice, it would have been an offensive foul. No, but he's being guarded by Dominique Wilkins, so you look at Dominique's defensive card, and you see on his turnover rating, 7 to 12 is a steal. So you are going to give Dominique Wilkins a steal, give Joe Dumars a turnover. You see all that? That's a lot of bundling right there in one play. So I'm going to give Dominique a steal. And then, so you got a steal. And so when the last, you check for that steal. And one more thing, that number 63. If Joe Dumars, if I had rolled a 70, the last number in the turnover range, and Dominique got the steal, that would have led it to a fast break. And I would have turned another card over for the fast break deck and see if we got a fast break shot. But I did not. So just a steal by the Hawks, Dominique Wilkins. We continue on. And once again, this is 6 minutes of cards here. Once it gets about halfway through, there's about 3 minutes through. So I can keep minutes without having to have a game clock, keeping the footprint of this game quite small. So what's Atlanta going to do? They're going to give it to the F1, which is big old Cliff Livingston. And Livingston's going to have the green zone again versus his defender, Rick Mahorn. So any foul, it'll be on Mahorn most likely. All right, so we got a 69 on the Livingston card. And a 69 offensively is a missed shot. If I'd rolled a 12, there's a percentage chance of missing a three-pointer. So I rolled that 69, and that is going to be a missed shot by Cliff Livingston. And I believe you just turn a card for the rebound. High at center. So we got Moses Malone's a great offensive rebounder at 49. And that's higher than Bill Laimbeer's 44. So we're going to give the offensive rebound to Moses Malone. And I do not believe there's a putback here. A lot of games have an instant putback roll, but unless the rebound card says so, you just, Atlanta maintains possession. The one thing I was going to say was a semi-negative that I was still having trouble with Hawks ball with this game was getting the number of 6-minute increments of cards correct. So your average field goal attempts per team per game are correct, and so you have a score that's relatively close to what you'd average in a regular season. Sometimes I'm a little high, sometimes I'm a little bit low, and we'll see how this game plays out. We'll see how many shots that the Atlanta Hawks and Detroit Pistons come up with here. But that's one of those things since day one 2 years ago. Still working out the kinks, getting the number of shots per quarter, per half, per game correct. That's mostly referring to field goal attempts. I think if you get the field goal attempts right, the free throw attempts will follow. So here comes Atlanta. G2. And I use a ball marker sometimes, other times I don't. It's the veteran Reggie Theus. He's been probably in his 11th or 12th year. Reggie defended by the F1, which is going to be Rick Mahorn. And we'll roll the dice. Once again, offensive column. And so it is a 12 for Reggie Theus. No, not a 12. A 73, sorry. Foul. Foul. I'm going to call that on the F1, Rick Mahorn. So that's a foul. But that appears to be just a one-shot foul and the first team foul on the Pistons. So I believe that is correct. Yeah, it's not a foul while shooting. It's just a foul. So the Hawks, once again, maintain possession. And it's going to be the G1 this time, which is Doc Rivers. Everybody knows who Doc is. He's coached every successful team, not necessarily to a title. He's now in Milwaukee, and his job is probably hanging in the balance. So, defender, that's going to be Reggie Theus. Not Reggie Theus. What am I talking about? Isiah Thomas, the great Isiah Thomas. And so now Doc Rivers gets another offensive call. And this is going to be a 99. 99 on Doc. That's a foul while shooting. So, who is it? It's the defender. So that's going to be a foul on Isiah. And we get to determine whether he makes that shot. And I believe this is three-pointer made, two-pointer made, three-pointer miss, two-pointer miss. So you roll this and see if it goes in. And that's a 71. And so I think that's just a 2-point miss shot. And he's going to get 2 free throws. So the free throw mechanism is pretty interesting here. Doc Rivers, you can see from 0 to 83, it's all G. So he had a great foul shooting year. And if I get 84 to 90, I got to roll a 9 to 12. I'll just roll all the dice and see what happens. And it's been a while since I played, so if I'm messing this up, it's just going to happen. 22, and that first free throw is great. And then we got 17. No problem for Doc, and guess who's on the board first? The Atlanta Hawks lead 2-0. Pistons take over. Once again, I've got the green light to go. Hope I shuffled this deck well enough. It's all offense. It's a center versus defensive F1, which is Cliff Levingston. But it's going to be the center offense. So 53 on Lane Beer's offense. And that is a missed shot. If I rolled a 9, it would have been a 3-point missed shot. So just a missed shot for Bill Lane Beer. Rebound goes to... Let's see. Whoops. So rebound. Out of bounds, jump ball, possession, arrow. So I'm just going to do a jump ball. Possession arrow, that would refer to college, of course. Jump ball home. And so the Pistons retain possession. Ball goes to the B2. So then you got to look for the characteristic. There's a B3 for Isiah. Dantley doesn't have one. So there's no B2. So that means F1 gets the ball, and that's just going to be Rick Mahorn. And they get a 59 on the offense again. 59. Let's see. It looks like a turnover for Rick Mahorn. If I rolled a 7, it's an offensive foul. I rolled an 11. So just a turnover for Mahorn. One more check on this, of course, is if there's an 11 on the defense, let's see, it's F1 defender, steals. Look at his defense, turnover, 2 to 8. So no, it's not a steal by any stretch. Hawks take over. And now we got a defense for once. G2, let's see. Let's put this little marker on Reginald Theus out of UNLV. And then he's going to be facing the defensive center column. So that is Lambier. I assume Lambier is probably a decent defender, although 27 to 55 basket. That's interesting. And so I roll a 0-6. Lambier blocks Theus' shot. So missed by Theus, blocked by Bill Lambier. And I generally just call for a regular rebound off the block shot. You can see here that if I had gotten a steal for Lambier, would get changed to a 2-point basket. Other turnovers remain. So there's all kinds of weird things like that in this game. Some things I just ignore. This is one I would probably definitely adapt to. So the rebound's going to go to defensive F1 fast break. So good defense, rebound Mahorn. Pistons fast break is an E, so we'll see what happens on this. Roll this fast break, 2-point basket, B to E held up. So it would have been a nice basket had they had an A or a AA rating on the fast break, but they've been lowered from a D to an E, and therefore they do not get a fast break basket. Here comes Detroit. F2, still looking for a basket here. Adrian Dantley. Now, you can see this little in parentheses here. F4 is used if minutes played is greater than 19. Now, all that means is if you're using the full play board, they have a board where you can put 20 guys on it. 5 starters, 5 reserves for each team. And you can go to the F4 mark and look and see if that player gets a play. That enables you to play a game without having to make substitutions because all your players just remain on the floor. I'm personally one of those people that has not tried that method yet, but here's F2. Here we go, Dantley. But I understand people that want to have something simplified and not have to do any of that. I may have to try that sometime to see how fun it is. Some people love it. Others haven't used it like myself. Here comes Dantley. Offense all the way for AD. That's 80. 80 for Dantley. What do we got? Looks like a missed shot for Dantley. So the Pistons are off to a slow start. Rebound. Defensive center Moses Malone for Atlanta. He's already got 2 boards. They got a fast break right there. We'll see if Atlanta, despite the reduction to a C, can they do it? Oh, it's held up automatically. So it's pretty easy to read, pretty easy to move along in this game. Moses is going to get the ball. It's change missed to 2-point basket. So Moses, he's got a little bit of a cushion here. If he can at least just get a shot off, he'll get converted to a 2-pointer. So a 78 for Moses Malone. 65 to 99 is a miss. But it says change missed to 2-point basket. So they'll take it. Moses Malone, 2 points. Hawks, 4. Pistons 0. And I do flip a card for the assist. Assisted by G2 or center. So Reggie Theus is the G2. He will get the assist. Now, I'm always sometimes worried with the assist check. Am I using too many cards per every 6 minutes? I'm always wondering of that. But we'll find out how it works out. It is 4-0 Atlanta. The world champs haven't scored yet. And we're about 2.5 minutes in. Here we go. F1. That is Rick Mahorn. And it's the defender card. And see if he had an E characteristic. If he had an E characteristic, like a player that doesn't shoot a lot, he'll pass the ball to one of the better scorers. So, yeah. So, anyhow, Mahorn versus defender. Oh, yeah, he does have an E characteristic. Duh. I just talked about it. Pass to B1 or B3. Well, I think we had Isiah with the B3, so maybe it's B3. He passes to B3. So let's go B3 versus defender. I hope I'm playing that right. That'll work for me. I don't want to flip any more cards if I don't have to. Isiah Thomas, defender card, is Doc Rivers. That's 38 for Doc. 38 is a foul while shooting. So, oh no, it's Isiah Thomas on Doc Rivers. Shoot, I'm sorry. 38 defense, foul while shooting. So it is a foul on Doc. And Isiah gets a chance to make that shot. 53, 5-3, 2-point miss. So nonetheless, Isiah goes to the free throw line. Really get him on the board. That's a 34 easily. And a 76. Swish. Pistons are on the board. Hawks have the ball. Haven't played this in a while, but I'm picking up on it fairly quickly. The G2, Reggie Theus versus the defensive center, Lame Beer again. So that's 35 on Lame Beer. Looks like a basket for Reggie Theus over Lame Beer. I'm just looking at everything. Yeah, looks good. And it also says assist 27 to 42. So Reggie Theus hits. Oh, what's going on here? And assist. Let's check the assist. I hope I'm not wasting too many cards when I do that. F1. So Cliff Levingston will get an assist. So sometimes assists just kind of come generally, but you can get a assist for an immediate basket like Doc Rivers 19 to 36 there, and you don't have to look for the assist. Isiah, I expect him to get a couple of assists today. G1, here's Isiah, and he's not an E. Yeah, I did that right. Okay. Don't want to lose track. Isiah Thomas, 48. On the offensive card, 48 is a miss. If I'd rolled a 9, it would have been a 3-point attempt. But nope, it's just a miss shot for Thomas. And the cold shooting Pistons continue to struggle. Rebound. Defensive center, Moses Malone gathers in rebound number 3. Ball goes to the G1, defended by the F2. We're getting a lot of Dantley's going to guard Doc Rivers. And what do we get? 71. 71's a miss. Oh, geez, I got to keep my hand away from my scoring. A miss shot by... Now, I can't remember when you're checking that. We check for a missed 3-point attempt, I think, as well. I think. And I've rolled this 10, and then I look for Doc's 3-point range, and his missed is 2 to 4. If it was 2 to 4, I think it would be a missed 3. I think I'm reading that right. So it's a miss for Doc. And rebound. Offensive center. Offensive center, Moses Malone. And he's got the ball for Atlanta. Hawks take over. F2 versus defender. Neek. And that's a 14 for Neek. 14 is a turnover, but I got a 10 offensive foul, Dominique Wilkins. First foul on Neek. Pistons looking to score. F1, that is going to be Mahorn. They're going to Mahorn a little much here. Defense is going to be Moses Malone. And Moses, 78. 78 is a missed shot for Rick Mahorn. And the rebound goes to defensive G1, Doc with the board. Slow start. A little bit of a slow start for both teams. F2 versus defender. Neek's going to get another chance. Dantley's playing the defense, and he doesn't typically play very good. 0-9. Dantley, basket, and an assist. So Neek scores. 8-2. Assisted by G1 Doc Rivers, his first of the game. 8-2. The Piston fans got to get into it, get their team back into it. G2 versus defender. This is Joe Dumars. Defender card, Theus. And we got an 0-5 on Reggie, and that's good with an assist. Joe Dumars gets the first field goal for the Pistons. 8-4. Check for an assist. The high, or G1. Well, the high is obviously going to be Isiah Thomas. So it is 8-4. Here comes Atlanta. They go to the F2. Back to Neek. Defender plus question mark. I think that's on one of these cards. I generally don't use it unless it's a technical foul or something, but we'll check it after Dominique goes up here. 57, and that is a missed shot. And it's not a 3, just a missed shot for Neek. Rebounded by loose ball foul. So it's a loose ball foul. We'll check who that's on. Defensive center. And they're going to call it on Lame Beer. Good break for Atlanta. It's 8-4. The plus sign, I can't remember. Oh, it's a question mark. So I can look over here. Hawks will retain possession typically. Question mark. If player or defender has an exclamation mark, a brawl breaks out. Both players are ejected. And I don't think either one of those guys did anyway. But that could have been an interesting call if it was someone. I think they rated the amount of intensity or anger in a player based on how many fouls they got. So I'm not sure who would actually qualify for that, but somebody with a lot of fouls. Maybe a Rick Mahorn or something like that, but it would be somewhere up here on the card. I'm not sure who's got one of those. But anyway, Atlanta will retain possession. G2 versus the defensive center, and that's going to be Theus versus Lame Beer. Lame Beer being challenged. That's an 11, and that's a block by Lame Beer. Missed by Reggie. Theus, Lame Beer coming through with a pair of blocks. Not known for his shot blocking. And the rebound. Defensive G1, Isiah Thomas. Here comes Detroit. Looking to score some more points. G1 Thomas versus defender. Defender column. Doc Rivers, a pretty good defender. And we got a 30 on Doc's card. And that is a turnover, and that's a 6. That's a steal. Turnover for Thomas. Steal by Doc. And it's a 30. It's not the high end of the range, is it? Oh, man, if it was a 31, it would have been a fast break opportunity. But either way, Atlanta with the upper hand. F1 is going to be Cliff Livingston. Defensive G2. But either way, that's a missed shot will turn into a 2-point basket as well for Livingston. And that's an 85 on Cliff. 85 is a basket anyway. And that looks like an assist on the play as well. So 2 points for Cliff Livingston and an assist on the play. Hawks with a commanding lead of 10-4. Assisted by F2 Dominique Wilkins, and Atlanta's playing some decent ball here where Detroit is fumbling for points. Ball goes to the B1 if I have it. Nope, I don't have a B1, so it's going to go to the F1. Mahorn getting the ball way too often. Maybe taking Rick Mahorn out. He's just getting the ball too often. Need to make it Dennis Rodman or something. Yeah, offensive column. And that's a 69. 69 is a turnover, a 7's an offensive foul. The defender is Cliff Livingston, and it's not a steal. So it's just a turnover for Mahorn. Pistons struggling on the turnover side of things. That's their 4th. Ball goes to the center. Moses Malone. Defensive F1 Mahorn. And that's a 74 on Mahorn. Missed shot by Moses. Rebound. Defensive F1 Mahorn grabs the board. And fast break opportunity. We'll see if they even have a chance. It says missed G1. So it looks like Isiah Thomas is going to miss the shot already, just like that. Another rebound. Defense, center, Moses. Rebound number 5. Fast break again. Fast break. 2-point basket. F2, Dominique. Unless they're an E, and they're not. So Neek is going to score here. Just like that, it is 12-4. I think you can check on a fast break assist. Just look at the card that is up. I'm not positive on that. I can't remember for sure. I was correct, so that is an assist to Doc Rivers. The face-up card. Don't have to flip a card on the fast break. It happens so fast. Hawks off to the races with 12 points in the first 4.5 minutes. And the fans in Detroit are wondering what is going on. Center defender. It does say C2 passes to B3 or B2. That's not important because he's a D. Defender is Moses Malone, who doesn't typically foul much, but he's gotten a little bit older. 77 on Moses Malone. What do we got? Moses missed shot for Bill Lame Beer. So if it was a 9, maybe it'd be a missed 3-point attempt. I think it's just a missed shot for Lame Beer. Moses outplaying Lame Beer so far. Rebound, defensive G1, Doc Rivers. Comes Atlanta. Well, maybe we're almost at 6 minutes in here. F1 versus defensive center. Lame Beer playing the good defense so far. And I lost my die. And Lame Beer gets a 3-0 turnover, and it's a steal by Lame Beer from Livingston. 2 blocks and a steal for Bill Lame Beer. Ball goes to the B2 or the F2. And we have F2 is going to be Dantley. Dantley has not gotten the ball too often so far. And a 90 on his offensive column means foul while shooting. Defender is the F2 Wilkins. We'll check to see if that shot is going to fall for Dantley. 65. It's not going to fall. But he's going to go to the line for 2 shots. AD lives at the free throw line. That's a 48. That'll be great. And a 58. Adrian Dantley sinks a pair. He's on the board, and the Pistons still stuck on 1 field goal. 12-6. Hand the ball to the B1. Do we have a B1 in? We got a B3 in, a B2 in. And it's going to be the F1. Livingston getting the ball. Livingston and Mahorn getting the ball. Here goes Livingston. That's a 90 on Livingston's card. Basket. Cliff Livingston. 4 points in the game. Score it. 14-6. And I'll just borrow, let's see, I'll get the next deck ready so I can check for an assist. G1 or G2. Doc Rivers, assists. So midway through the first quarter, the Hawks are dominating 14-6. Alrighty, we are having quite a game here. A low-scoring affair between the hometown Pistons and the Atlanta Hawks. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. And the score is pretty low, 32-26. The Hawks and Pistons in kind of a struggle for points. Leading scorers in this low-scoring game, 8 points for Dominique Wilkins, but I'm keeping him on the bench with 3 fouls. He does have 3 steals. For the Pistons, 6 points for Isiah Thomas. There's just not a lot of points. Pistons are just 8 for 30. That's shooting 27%. Hawks are hitting 44%. It has been an entertaining game, though. I'm really have been enjoying the flow as I get back into the game and remember everything I have to do. So we'll see what happens here in the final 6 minutes. I'm just for giggles, I'm throwing in Daryl Dawkins, who played 14 games with the Pistons back in 1989. I believe this is the final regular season of his NBA career. He did a little European tour after that, but we're going to see how he can perform. I've put Dantley back in the game. Dantley's 0 for 2 with 2 free throws made, and he may have been part of the reason Dominique got his 3rd foul, but either way, no one is scoring consistently. So keeping Dominique out, got Spud, Theus, and Moses in the game. So Moses Malone and Daryl Dawkins, 2 1970s great centers, getting one more chance to face off in this great game. Okay, and here we go. It is the Pistons' ball. They're only down 6, despite shooting terribly from the field. F2, it is Adrian Dantley right there. Offensive column, 87. And he's fouled while shooting. The defender's Reggie Theus, his first. That's a 5th team foul. We get to check and see if Adrian Dantley can make that field goal attempt. It's like 0-37. 37, it's good. Adrian Dantley makes the 2-pointer. And the Pistons are within 4. And Dantley's going to get 1 free throw. And I roll an 86. 86. Oh, I have to roll a 9 on there. Nope, missed shot by Dantley. Rebound. Offense F1. Wish there was a rebound chart or rebound advantage on these notations. They're based on regular offensive plays, so Spider Sally is going to grab the rebound. Ball goes to the B1. I don't know what Dantley is. Dantley's a nothing. There's no B1s. I got Isiah Thomas back in the lineup. Just go F1 Sally. He's going up. 44 for Spider Sally. Basket and an assist. So that's what I see right there. Spider Sally. 2-pointer. His first shot of the game. 32-30, just like that. And the assist will go to G2. Joe Dumars, just back in the game. Joe's got 5 points, 2 of 2 from the floor, and 1 for 1 from the line. So we got a good one. It's 32-30. Atlanta's got to keep the offense cooking. F2. And he's not an E, he's a D, so Antoine's going to go up. 83 on offense. That's a missed 2-pointer. Antoine's first shot of the game. I've had him in quite a bit. And the rebound's going to go to loose ball foul. Defensive G1. So Isiah Thomas picks up foul number 2. And that's the 4th team foul on Detroit. So Atlanta just inbounds the ball. I'm going to go over to Reginald Theus, UNLV star. And Reggie's got a defensive F2. So Dantley, not a good defender necessarily. 31. And that's a basket. Reggie Theus scores easily on AD. 34-30 Atlanta. We have some hot shooting all of a sudden. Pistons are actually in the 31% range now. F2. Dantley coming back. He's just trying to outscore his man. F2 defender, and that's going to be Carr, 99. Turnover. Adrian Dantley gets a turnover. Good defense by Carr. Ball goes over to the G2. Back to Reggie. Reggie offensive column, 28. Assist Reggie Theus. And the basket goes to F2, Antoine Carr. 36-30. Pistons come down. Ball goes into double D. Daryl Dawkins. Change missed a 2-point basket. Well, let's see if he misses or not. We got ourselves a 59 on his offensive column. And that's a basket with an assist. So Daryl Dawkins goes down low, gets a gorilla dunk, and it's 36-32. And what did he used to name his dunks? He had some kind of Yo Mama dunk. I can't remember what it is. Assisted by G2, Joe Dumars. All right, we got ourselves a game, 36-32. Hawks with the lead on the ball, F1. Koncak playing some good defense that first day. Got a couple block shots the first 6 minutes. Is he an E? Yep, E. Passes to B1 or B3. And there's Moses Malone. It's a defender, Dawkins, who probably fouled a ton. Let's go 78. And I called that foul while shooting, so Daryl's going to get a foul. Moses is going to see if he can make the shot. And that's a 99. That is not going to make it. But he's going to go to the line for 2 shots. Moses has lived at the free throw line. I think he had over 700 free throw attempts during 88-89. Which is still a lot, especially for an older guy. And that's a 93. And that's going to be a miss. I'd have to roll a 3 to 6 with the 2 dice. And there's a 64. Got it. Hawks lead by 5. Ball goes to the G2. Joe Dumars. Defended by Malone. And that's an 85 on Malone. Missed shot. And is it a 3 or anything? It doesn't look like it. It's just a missed field goal attempt for Dumars. Rebound going to be defensive goaltending. So take that back. Joe Dumars gets credit for 2. And let's see, that was a regular play, so let's find an assist on that play. Let's see, assisted by F1. We'll give Sally an assist on that play. And the Pistons. Right in there, 37-34. Back to Atlanta, B3. I believe that's going to be Moses Malone. Moses' offensive league, it's a 36. 36. That's a basket with an assist. So Moses Malone goes in and retaliates. And assist goes to G1, Spudley Webb. All right. Spud played 81 games and started 6. Gonna give him some minutes here. Let's see what the Pistons do. They go to the G1. That's going to be Isiah, who has had a terrible game so far. He's only got 1 field goal in about 7 attempts. And he's offensively 39 here. Missed shot, not a three-point attempt. Missed by Isiah Thomas. Rebound. Defensive G2, there's Reggie Theus. Hawks just keep that little lead going. B1, F2. I don't think I've got a B1, so it's going to be Antoine, defender Dantley. Dantley gets a 0-2 on his defense. Foul, AD, his first. So Antoine Carr goes to the line for 2. 93, that is not going to fall. I'm suddenly missing a lot of free throws. 55, 47 to 87, 3 to 12. Good. And that's good for Antoine Carr. One more on the board. The Hawks have 40. Not on pace for their 111, but they are playing the Pistons. So G1, Thomas. Trying to get something going here. He gets a 40. Misses another shot. He's just firing away. Should be working on his assists. Rebound. Defensive center Moses Malone. Multi-time rebound champ. Hall of Famer. Gets the ball to the G1, which is Spudweb. Defense is F2. Dantley, not much of a defender. 62. 47-81 missed, though, so... yeah. And Spud, it says, where's his miss? Oh, he's got a 38% chance of taking a 3, making a 3 on this. This is odd. So do I got to roll to see if he actually takes a 3 or not? I think I will do that because I rolled a 2. And we'll see. It's going to be a 3-point miss no matter what. 75. So he didn't take it. Wasn't. Yeah, just a miss 2 for Spud Webb. Kind of an odd one there. Rebound. Offensive center. Moses Malone is ripping down some rebounds today. It gives him 9 on the game. Back to the F2. Antoine Carr. It's an offensive play. 47. 47 is a missed 2-pointer. Antoine Carr. That one's getting real hot. Rebound high at center. Home gets a D plus D6. Does Dawkins have the rebounding ability? He's only got 21 plus, 21. Does not. Moses Malone, one of the great offensive rebounding centers of all time. Grabs rebound number 10. Keeps it alive. Concac versus the center, Daryl Dawkins. And we get a 35 on Daryl. Oh, it's a miss. Concac no good. 2 for 3 now. See what the rebound is this time. Defensive G1. Isiah. It's got 3 boards. Pistons come down. Give it to the F2. Dantley defender is Carr. Little bigger guy. 51. Foul while shooting. Well, let's see what Dantley can do here. 0 to 37. Good. And Dantley scores and is fouled by Carr. Carr with his 3rd foul. AD with a 2-pointer. 40-37. He can close this thing really quickly with a nice free throw. And it's a 68. And 68's great. Dantley puts it within 2. Conventional 3-point play. And it's 40-38. Am I right on that? Okay, official scoring says 37 still for the Pistons. I don't know where I messed up. Anyway, center, Mo. Defender is Dawkins. And that's a 54. And that's a missed shot by Moses Malone. Old Daryl Dawkins. I mean, he started in 1975-76 at age 18. And we're 1989, so he's still, even in 1989, he's still in his early 30s, right? My goodness, that doesn't make sense. So he forces the miss. Rebound, offensive guard 2, that's Reggie. And Reggie has a chance with a 2-point attempt, 2-7. And he makes it. Reggie Theus, I think his other basket came that way. I'm not positive. No, it didn't. But still, big hoop for the Hawks. 6 for Reggie Theus, 42-37. Getting a little more offense since this half of the quarter. There's Dumars. Dumars goes up. That's a 0-1. He is fouled while shooting. Defender Reggie Theus with his second foul. There is a question mark there as well. Let's check to see if the basket goes for Dew. That's a 44, no. And what is the injury reading or whatever? No event, continue game. So 2 shots for Joe Dumars. That's a 65. That's good. And a 93. I would have had to got a 9-11, and I do. Rolled a 9. 2 free throws. Good by Dumars. 42-39. Closing in on the final minute and a half, 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes left. F2. Antoine Carr. D or E passes to B1 or B2, and I've got a B3. So we've got to go to the most scores. Moses Malone's going to get the ball anyway. And that's a 70 on Moses' card. And it's a missed shot by Moses. Let's see who can grab the board here. Loose ball, foul. Defensive F2. Wow. So it's going to be on Dantley. He was playing defense at the time. And the offensive F2, I guess, will shoot 2 free throws. Antoine Carr is going to the line. And it's a 34. Ring it up. 24. Ring it up for Antoine Carr. Gives him 5 on the game. Hawks continue to inch ahead by 5. Ball goes to B3, G1. I got a B3 right there. Isiah versus Moses' defense. So that's a 60 on Mo. Missed shot. Isiah no good. He's having an awful shooting game to this point. Rebound. Defensive G1. It's little Spud Webb's going to grab his first rebound of the game. And here comes Atlanta with the clock running down. B1. I don't have a B1. I do have a G2, though. Reggie Theus goes up. And he gets a 54. And that's a miss. 2-point miss for Reggie. High at F2. Carr has a 26. Wow, they got some rebounding in there. Antoine Carr is going to haul in the offensive rebound. First half of the second quarter, I had Rodman and Sally there, and that was quite a defensive wall. So now I've got Carr and Koncak with Moses. That's a rebounding wall right there. Spud Webb. Change steal to basket. So defensive center Dawkins. Let's see what that Spud on Dawkins. Little man drives on the big guy. 69. Foul while shooting. Daryl Dawkins. Never saw a foul he never liked. Let's see. Does he make the shot? That's the question. 29. Good. Spud Webb, count it. 46-39. And 1 free throw for Spud. Usually a good foul shooter. That's 0-9. And that's easily good for Spud. Makes the score 47-39. A little spurt by Atlanta. Trying to get on pace to at least get 100 this game. Ball goes to G2. Dew versus the defensive F1 Concac. He's played some really good defense. 34 on D, and there's another block shot. Dumars with a miss. Third block for Concac. This might have been his best shot blocking year. That's a lot of blocks. Rebound. Offensive center. Daryl Dawkins, the chance for a wham bam thank you ma'am dunk, or whatever he called it. Spine Chiller Deluxe. Oh yeah, I just need to roll these two and it's a 5. Good. Daryl Dawkins with the tip dunk. And the Pistons haven't lost too much with Daryl Dawkins in the game. Ball goes to the B2, G2. I think we're going to Reggie Theus' offense. Let's see what he's got. 28 assists. Good job by Theus. Spreading the wealth. He's been the best point guard, actually, just as far as getting pure assists. And so the basket is awarded to F1 Concac. 3 for 4 for John. Probably got him from Reggie. All right, 49-41. Time running out in the half. And at least the Detroit Pistons are up to 35%. We got an F2. Dantley, D1 Spud trying to play some defense. That's a challenge for him. And that's a 35 basket with an assist. Dantley will score. Dantley will probably finish the half with 9. And the assist on the play goes to G2 Joe Dumars. So there you have it at the half. Hawks 49. Pistons 43. Leading scorer at the half. Neek with 8 for Atlanta. Moses with 7 points, 10 boards. 6 for Theus with 3 assists. Pistons being led by Dantley with 9. Dumars with 9. Thomas, 6 points, but just 1 for 9 from the floor. Getting ready to start the third period here, but I thought before I started that I was going to show off a couple basketball cards from the 88-89 edition of Fleer Basketball. If you can recognize any of these names on here, you can see that I finished my set off many decades ago, but got the Isiah Thomas, Dominique Wilkins All-Star stickers. And of course, you got the Atomic Dog Antoine Carr, and the, or is he the Big Dog? I can't remember. Followed by Clifford Livingston, Doc Rivers, Spud Webb, all playing in the game today. Don't forget Dominique Wilkins. I don't even have Kevin Willis. Is he a rookie? Or what happened? Did Wilkins miss a whole season? That's 87-88. Maybe he missed a full season somewhere. That's a great thought. And there's Randy Whitman, traded to Sacramento. Yeah, that was it. Big Kevin Willis. They really would have been good if they had been able to have him for 88-89. Because they won a bunch of games, over 50 games, 52-30 without Big Kev. But anyway, that's kind of what the backs of the cards look like, just general stats, not a lot of indication of how good they were. You can definitely read up on the Isiah Thomas and Dominique Wilkins All-Star cards. But anyway, you know, I just kind of flow through the teams. Fleer's pretty cool because they put them in order by team, unless there was a trade, of course. And then they'll say traded to some other team, like Del Curry traded to Charlotte down there. But anyway, there's the Bulls. There's MJ right there and a couple guys. Fun cards I collected way back in 88-89 season. Yeah, that's when I got them. So that was a lot of fun. The cards industry was starting to boom a little bit back then before dying off and then coming back recently. But anyway, I was looking for their opponent, the Pistons. And there you got Adrian Dantley, massaging the ball very carefully there for the Detroit Pistons, along with the steady Joe Dumars, Microwave Johnson, Big Bad Bill Laimbeer, and the bad boy Dennis Rodman. Finishing off with a couple great players in their own right, Spider Sally and Hall of Famer Isiah Thomas. But you can see Thomas is, he was headed into his 8th season this season we're playing right now. But anyway, some fun stuff. Fleer basketball cards from 1989. Well, I'm kind of expecting the Pistons to put the foot on the gas. They've been not playing very well. They're at 36.6 from the field. They were under 30 for much of the first half. We're going to have to see if they can pick that up. I think just naturally they will. Hawks were still leading, even though I had Dominique Wilkins on the bench for all but 10 minutes of the first half. He still had the team with 8 points and 7 for Moses. So anyway, let's go. Pistons still have the ball, and they're only down by 5. So we could have a good one. 49-43 is the official score. And let's go with the Pistons at the home team. Let's see, B1. I can't remember if they've got I don't think they have a B1 to begin with. So the F2 is Adrian Dantley. AD's going to get the ball right off the bat and go 0-1 on his offensive column. And that's a basket with an assist. So AD comes through right off the bat. He's now in double digits with 11. And the assist will go to forward 2, 14 plus. That's interesting. He is forward 2. So forward 1. Rick Mahorn gets the assist. All right. And I only played Rick Mahorn like 6 minutes, so the team was kind of really struggling with him in the lineup, so we'll see if he does better this half. We're going to go to the F1, Livingston, and I realized in the first half there was an E on the first play of the game, and I did not know that he had to pass that ball off on that one. It's just had been a while. Miss goes to a 2-point basket. We'll see what he gets here. That's a 55 for Clifford. Let's see. I did not roll a 12. No. 35-73 miss. Change miss to 2-point basket. So a good break for Livingston, who's now 3 for 4 from the field. And that is good. All right. And therefore it's 51-45. Good quick start for both teams. Center with a question mark. Let's look at it. Let's preemptively look at it. Any away player receives questionable non-shooting foul. Home player may play remainder of game without resting. Okay, interesting stuff. So, anyway, we're going to go to the Bill Laimbeer. Let's just finish his playoff. I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that thing. That's going to be a 44 for Bill Laimbeer offensively. 44. 22-64 is missed, and I rolled a 9, so it's actually a 3-point attempt. Missed by Bill Laimbeer. He's now 1 for 4 on the game. And the rebound is going to go to defense F2. That's going to be Neek. And a fast break attempt. Let's see what happens. We're going to ignore that question mark. I don't care. They're not an E, so fast break basket G2. And he held up. So Reggie Theus goes in for a quick basket. And it's 53-45. And that's the Hawks. I do not believe you need to award an assist on a 2P basket G2. I'm not sure. Okay, I guess I used the G2 or G1. I used the facing card here without turning another card. So an assist to Doc Rivers. And how is Mr. Rivers doing in the assist category? That's 4 assists for Doc. Just over 12 minutes played. So it's 53-45. Hawks are benefiting from the fast break more than the Pistons. Gets their field goal percentage up to 47%. against the bad boys. Here we go. Oh, I just rolled. I just preemptively rolled. So, G2. Got to get in the groove here. G2, I preemptively rolled a 66. And look at Joe Dumars turning the ball over. And it's an 8, so his defender's the F1. 8. That is a steal. So it's Joe Dumars. Another his second turnover. Steal by Livingston. Hawks just seem to have it today. Pistons are just struggling. Ball goes to F1. Livingston being guarded by Lane Beer. That's a 40 on Bill. 40. It looks like a basket, and that's an assisted play. So Livingston will score, and the Hawks continue to pour it on. 55-45. Assist F1 or G1. We'll give it to Doc, assist number 5. All right. Pistons need to get it in gear. G2 with the ball. Says change of steal to 2-point basket. So that would have been a nice one for the last play for Detroit. Let's see what happens this time. Defensive center is Moses, 51. Fouled while shooting. So Mo gets foul number 2. We're going to see if Joe makes the 2-pointer or whatever. 16. 16. 2-point field goal is good. And you don't check for an assist on that play because he was guarded and all that jazz. So big hoop for the Pistons. We got the foul taken care of, and Joe can complete a 3-point play opportunity here at 66. And that definitely works. Good foul shooting. Joe Dumars with a big basket. If Isiah Thomas was hitting, this would be a much closer game. 55-48. Isiah was 1 for 9 in the first half. And the Hawks decide, well, preemptive roll one more time. It's going to go G1, and that's Doc Rivers. Defender. And the defender's Isiah, so we go 0-9. Missed shot. And I got an 11 here. Misses on a 2-4. Nope. So just a missed shot by Doc. And the rebound. High at F1. So we got Neek with an offensive 31. Dantley gets 6 points, but he's only at 15. So Neek is going to clear the offensive board. People forget to realize how good Dominique Wilkins was. One of the best players in the 1980s. He battled Larry Bird so many times. Let's see. Going back to the G2, they keep it alive, and that's going to be Theus versus the G1 of Thomas. What does Isiah offer? 36. Isiah Thomas not doing much of anything right here. He's going to get a foul, his third, while shooting. And let's see what Reggie Theus does on the shot. It's a 15. It's a good 2-pointer. Reggie Theus scores. Good second effort by Dominique to get that rebound. And Isiah got the foul. 1 free throw for Reggie. Let's see what he does. 37, easily good. Hawks hitting 80% from the free throw line. Back up by 10. Pistons come back down. G1, that's Isiah. Isiah's got to snap out of it. And that's offense 84. And Isiah Thomas with an auto assist for the first time this game. They have needed that all game long. 58-50. And let's see, who did we give the basket to? B1 or center. It's going to be little Bill Laimbeer, who's had a really poor start. Only 4 points, no rebounds. So it's now 58-50. Well, they're up to 40% from the floor, though, so they're slowly getting out of that slump. And here's Doc Rivers. Doc is not an E, so he keeps the ball. That G3 refers to the play everyone board. Here's Doc. It's a 16. It looks like Doc, that's going to be a regular basket. Would have been a three-pointer if I rolled a 5, though. That would have been cool. But I haven't had a three-pointer made yet. So Doc Rivers scores. It's still an era where there wasn't a ton of threes made. Okay, unassisted. Let's go. I like when they go fast like that. Here comes G1. Defender is Doc. Doc, a good defender. 83 on the defense. Forces a miss. And Isaiah's just going to miss like crazy. After continues 1 for 10. At least he's not shooting too much, I guess. Going to go for the rebound. Defensive F1. That's going to be Clifford Livingston. Livingston with only 2 rebounds. Hasn't played a lot, though. Ball goes over to the F2. That's Neek. It says there's a question mark. I'll look at it anyway. If the play result is foul away team receives a technical foul. Okay. Well, let's just see how it plays out. Dominique goes up 95. And that's just a missed shot. A missed 2-pointer. All right. So the question mark doesn't even apply. Missed by Neek. Rebound high in the game. Well, Moses has that 49. 31, 36, 44. So Moses is going to grab that offensive rebound. I guess I got to get Dennis Rodman in there eventually to have a higher rating. And the Hawks are winning the battle of the boards. They got tall guys. 6'7" Theus as your shooting guard. 6'4" Doc Rivers, your smallest guy. G2 Reggie. That's a 55. Reggie missed. So it's a missed, and it's not a three-point attempt, so Reggie's going to miss that shot. He already had 5 in the quarter, so heat check. Out of bounds awarded to the home team. We'll give a team rebound to Detroit. Let's see. Here they are. Okay, Pistons have the ball. They're going to go to the G1. They need a basket here. Isiah. Offensive column 24. And another brick for Isiah. Boy, that's a big gaping miss there for Isiah Thomas. Let's check who's going to grab this board. High at center. Home plus 10. So 31. Malone's still 37, though. He is still playing like an all-star. He's got 12 rebounds and 7 points on the day. I'm going to be getting Rodman in there quite quickly. I'm about 3 minutes in. F2, Neek. Defense is G1. Isiah, let's see if we can play some defense on Neek. This will be interesting. That's a 36 on Isiah. Foul while shooting. Isaiah's 4th foul. He's just not coming through. Can Neek hit the shot? That's a 95. No. But he's going to go to the line for 2 shots. And we got a 14, which is good. And a 10. And Neek says, take that, Isiah. 4 fouls on Thomas. 62-50. I'm going to take Rick Mahorn out again. All right, a couple changes. Dumars moves to the point. Vinnie Johnson comes in for Isiah, has 4 fouls, and is not playing well. Dennis Rodman comes in, bolster that rebounding. And here comes the Pistons, now down by 12. Got G1. It's now Dumars playing point. And we got a 36. 10 to 45 missed. Well, he's doing the same thing anyway. Rebound. Defensive center fast break chance. Mo Malone, just keep piling them up. Moses, 13 rebounds on the game. Fast break chance held up. Let's go to the F1. There's Livingston. Change a miss to a 2-point basket. He's getting lucky on this one. Let's see. 33 on his offensive column. 33 is an assist. Cliff Livingston, not known for his playmaking skills, has just given them a 14-point lead. Scorer, Dominique Wilkins. Give that man 12 points. And the Pistons are falling apart at the moment. No one can hit a shot. Ball goes to the center. Bill Laimbeer. Change miss to a 2-point basket. So, 32. 32 is another miss. If I roll a 9, it's a 3-point attempt. Boy, these Pistons cannot hit. They're back down to 37% from the floor. Rebound, Mo Malone. And a fast break chance. A to E held up. So it'd have to be double A fast break. Otherwise, that'd be a great 2-point basket. But either way, they have the ball. Neek, defended by Dantley. This could be scary. That's a 94 on Dantley's defense. Yeah, actually a turnover. Turnover for Neek. And here comes the Pistons trying to get back in this game. B2. I don't have any B's in the game anymore. So G2. The microwave comes in. Heats up. 17. Basket. And an assist. So Vinnie Johnson gets his second field goal of the game. 64-52. Assisted by G1 15 plus. And he's a 20, so good. Joe Dumars. All right. 64-52. F2. Gonna go to Neek. Neek says, I got this. 56. Missed shot, not a 3-point attempt. Neek likes to huck him up. Rebound. Defensive F1. That's Dennis Rodman. The Worm in his early years. Fast break chance. Pistons do not have a good fast break, though. Fast break DE held up. And yeah, they were already a D and they got reduced to an E. So they're held up again on the fast break. They got to do something methodically. They're going to go F1 Rodman. Defensive F2 Wilkins, of all people. I like the switching off in bank shot basketball. Here we go. 34, defensive Wilkins. And that is some defense. 9 to 40, missed shot, 34. That's crazy. So missed by the Worm. Rebound. Defensive F1. That's going to be Cliff Livingston having a good little quarter so far. Fast break. Let's see what the Hawks have. B to E held up. Yeah, they're right in that range because they were a B, so they're C. Held up. You got to be an elite fast breaking team to get that one to work. Started getting slower on offense in this era. There's probably some more double A's if you have some early 80s teams or some 2000s teams, 2010 to 2020. So anyway, we got the Hawks with the ball. It's going to go to Reggie. Reggie sets it up. He's got an 85 on this baby. Did not get an offensive foul, but it is a turnover. And it's the defensive G1, and he's got a steal on 7 to 10. So not a steal, just a turnover for Theus. Pistons need to get this thing back down to 10 F2. AD, defensive F1, though. That's Livingston. 20. Turnover. Steal. Livingston's just having a great quarter. Turnover Dantley. Steal by Clifford. And, yeah. Back to Atlanta. That is 10 turnovers for the Pistons. Ball goes to the G2 versus defender. Vinnie Johnson's card. Vinnie gets a 37 on defense, and that's a basket for Reggie Theus. And I don't believe it's not a three-pointer. So Reggie Theus comes through. Give him 13 in the game. He's now the game's leading scorer. It is 66-52. What are the Pistons going to do next? I keep trying to solve their problems, but I cannot seem to get it to work. They're the home team. VJ, let's see. It's just regular offense. 54. And there's an assist for Vinnie Johnson. One of the few good plays the Pistons have made this period. Give the basket to the F1. That's Dennis Rodman. And Rodman had missed 5 in a row dating back to the first quarter. He's got 6. Next, B1. Don't believe I have a B1. You got a B2 and a B3. F1. That's going to be Livingston. And Livingston, no restrictions. He's an E. I got to remember that. 97 on offense. That's a basket. Wow. If I rolled a 2 for a three-point attempt, no. And that's no assist. It's just 2 points for the great Cliff Livingston. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties over here. 68-54. I think that ties them for their biggest lead. Pistons come down center. Lame Beer. Defense of the F1. Livingston wants to swat your shot. 21. And looky there. There's another turnover forced by Cliff Livingston. This was a good Atlanta team. I mean, honestly, they were 11 games worse, but 52 wins. Forced turnover by Bill Laimbeer, who's been rendered useless. Laimbeer, I don't even think he has more than... He still has 0 rebounds on the game. So the Hawks are going to come down, take advantage of this, give the ball to Livingston. Livingston says, I'm on fire, just heat check here. 49. Missed 2-pointer for Cliffy. That's all right. He was 3 for 3. Rebound. Who gets it? Defensive center. Bill Laimbeer, first rebound of the game. Holy cow. Fast break chance for Detroit. Foul while shooting F1. Foul while shooting F1. I do not know who that foul is going to be on. Let's go 1 through 6. The foul will be on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 will be Rodman's defender. And it's a 1. So it's going to be on Cliff Livingston. It says foul while shooting, so we're going to check on that. Dennis Rodman gets a 59. And unfortunately, it only goes up to 42. So not going to make it, but he does get to the line. And I roll a 32. And I'm really good up to 44, so 45 to 71 is a little different. And 0-2. Dennis Rodman drained some free throws. Well, it's hard to say. He's playing a little bit better offense than Isiah Thomas. 68-56. Hawks. Center. Mo versus defender. Big Bill has been giving up a lot of baskets. 17. Foul while shooting. Come on, Bill. Play some defense. I might have to get Sally in there or something. That's Moses Malone trying to see if he's going to make it. And that's a 0-4. Two-pointer, good. Moses. Hawks are just... Mike Fratello's got this team running like a well-oiled machine. It's good. And one free throw for Mo could give it a 15-point. 22, yes. 71-56. 6 minutes left in the third period. G2 VJ defender. 70. And a forced miss shot by Vinny Johnson. They cannot hit. That is crazy. And they're down to 38%. Let's get our rebound out. Offensive center. That's Bill Laimbeer. Given a golden opportunity here. Oh, no, just offensive center rebound. So we're going into the 6-minute mark. Remaining in the third. Hawks have a pretty nice 71-56 advantage. Okay, we're down to about 6 minutes left in this game. It's actually become a pretty good game with the Hawks hanging on to a 106-103 lead. Midway through the third quarter, the Hawks led by as many as 18 points. And I removed Moses Malone from the lineup just to give him a little rest. And the next thing you know, the Pistons pull within 2 at the end of 3 quarters, 87-85. And now we're in a Donnybrook here, 19-18. The Hawks have outscored the Pistons the first half of the quarter. This half has been really high scoring. Pistons scored 42 points in the third quarter. Hawks had 38 points in the third quarter. And both teams have 19 and 18 in the fourth midway through. So after a lackluster first half where the score was just 49-43, the points are really scoring. The Hawks only averaged 111. Pistons averaged out 106, 107. And they are definitely scoring much better right now. And both teams are hitting approximately 49% from the floor. As you recall, the Pistons hit about 28% by the end of the first half, maybe 30. It was a real slow start. But now with some players in foul trouble, there's been a couple easy baskets. I've had them playing safe. That is Bill Laimbeer, who has 5 fouls, and Dominique Wilkins has 5 fouls as well. I'm taking them off playing safe. Whatever happens to them in the final 6 minutes, they'll have to use a reserve if they get one more foul. So either way, a lot of easy baskets kind of filtered, not a lot, maybe a handful, to a couple players because those players were giving up easier baskets while playing safe. Feature in Joe Bryan's bank shot basketball. So here we go. Let's get this going. Pistons. I just put Joe Dumars in about 3 minutes ago. Isiah Thomas has had a just poor basketball game. I'm waiting for him to go off. He's now 3 of 14, 4 of 5 from the line, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. It actually sounds better than when I had it. But he got a basket on a defensive flaw by Dominique Wilkins, who was playing safe. It turned into his offensive column, and all turnovers become baskets. So that kind of helped him right there. It would have been a turnover, but it was an instant basket for Isiah. So there's a sacrifice to be made, but no longer. We're not making that sacrifice. Here comes Detroit. And so we're going to have a B1. We don't have one out there. Isaiah's the closest with a B3. But F1, John Sally, going a little extra minutes today. He's been the best of the power forwards. Rick Mahorn didn't click, and Rodman's been a little streaky. I'm going to go with Spider Sally. Offensive column, 0-6. And he is fouled. And that's by his defender. That's Cliff Levingston. And Cliff Levingston only has 2 fouls. And that, surprisingly, is only the second foul for the Hawks this period. The Pistons already have 5 team fouls, so Pistons will inbound again, trying to cut it to 1. Center, that's going to be Bill Laimbeer. He hasn't had a great game either. Defense of Levingston, and I'm going to give that a 58 on Levingston. And that looks like a basket with an assist. So 2 points for Bill Laimbeer gives him Do we have double digits for Bill? Yeah, he did he's having a good quarter. He's got 9 in the period, coming through in crunch time. So, and the assist for Detroit goes to the high, which will be Isiah Thomas. So, Isiah may actually have a decent stat line when all's said and done. But Joe Dumars has 25 points. He was humongous in that third quarter. And so it is now 106-105. Atlanta's got to stay the course and try and maintain the lead. They lost it on a Vinnie Johnson three-pointer to start the fourth quarter, but they kind of popped back up by 6, and now they're only ahead by 1. We give the ball to Dominique versus defender plus. We can always check the plus right here just to see what it is. It's on the away team. It's a foul on the away team. Okay. We'll see what happens here. Dominique playing with the 5 fouls. Offense, 41. 41 looks like a basket for Neek. And no assist. Individual move by Dominique Wilkins. And the Hawks hitting 50% from the floor exactly. Now have a 108-105 lead. Just under 6 minutes to play. Thomas, defender, is Doc. And Doc with a 55 on defense. Looks like a basket, an easy basket right there, and no assist. Isiah hit 3 in a row. He's awake. 12 points for Isiah, 108-107. And a big Pistons fan, Dave T. out there, is like going, maybe my Pistons can win a game when Rod plays a tabletop hoops game. F1. Cliff Livingston, he is an E, though, so he has to pass the ball to the B1 or the C, and I don't have a B1, so it's going to go to Mo. Moses down on his offensive card. He's had a good game. 40 is a basket. 28-47, no assist. A lot of individual play right now, but it works. And Hawks lead by 3. Back to Detroit. F2 with a Dantley, and we're going to have this little question mark thing. Yeah, I don't use the high score on home team auto rolls as basketball result on team's next 3 possessions. I'm not big on that. I lose track when I do that. But Adrian Dantley's going up, trying to foul out Mr. Dominique. 59. What has he got on 59? And 59's a missed shot. So miss for Dantley. AD had a very good third quarter. He's stuck on 19 points right now. He just came back. Miss there. High in the game. Well, we'll see. High in game. Offensive rebound would be 36 for Sally. Defensive rebound, 37. Moses Malone. Rebound number 16. The old man, 19 points, 16 boards. Just playing like an all-star. And here's G1. That's Doc Rivers. Defended by Dumars. Dumars gives up a lot of baskets on his defensive column. And there's a 61. And that's not one of them. There's a miss by Doc Rivers. Just a 2-pointer. And I'll say that Vinnie Johnson's 3-pointer was the only 3-pointer made in this game. So not an era of 3-pointers at the moment. Rebound defense, G1. That'll be Isiah Thomas. Isaiah's trying to manufacture a stat line and get his team a victory at the same time. Ball goes. Isiah versus Doc. Defensive Doc. That's a 52 on Doc. And it's scores and an assist. Pistons back within 1. Isiah Thomas has made 4 in a row. Assisted by John Sally. Sally's doing all the little things with 12 points and 7 boards to this point in the game. I may go the distance unless he fouls out. Center, Moses with a 1-point lead. It says changes missed to 2-point basket. This would be a great break for Moses Malone. 20 for Mo. And that's a foul. And the defender G2, Joe Dumars, is going to get his first foul of the game. But Moses, because they're in the penalty, it's 16 fouls. 2 free throws for Big Mo. 22 is good. And 0-6. Swish. Malone. Cress. 21 points, just behind the 22 of Neek. And the Hawks lead 112-109. Plenty of time left. Doesn't look like there's a B1, so we're going to go with Bill Laimbeer, 55. And that's going to be a missed shot. Just a missed two-pointer by Bill, who had been 3 for 3 in this quarter. Rebound. Defensive F1, that's Cliff Livingston back in the game. Fast break chance. Hawks do have a little bit of a fast break. Foul while shooting, the F2. So Neek is fouled. And who is that foul on? I'm going to randomize this. Hopefully it's not on Laimbeer. It's on Dantley. So it doesn't say who the foul is on. So we'll call that on Dantley. So Dantley has 4 fouls now. Neek's going to get 2 free throws out of the deal. And that's a 70. Neek's got an interesting free throw column. As long as I roll higher 6 to 12, that basket is going to be good. And then a 14. Dominique Wilkins with 24 points. Just 2 below his average. 114-109. Hawks. Pistons need some magic here. Let's see. B2, no. G2, Dumars against the defense of G2, but it's on Dumars' card here. 16, Dumars. Misses the two-pointer. He had been hot. He hadn't even missed this half. So the rebound on that missed 2 is going to go to the home F2. Adrian Dantley, offensive board. No putback. You just pass it back out to the G1. And defensive center is Moses Malone. Steal would become a 2-point basket. Let's find out. 17 on Malone's defense. Basket and an assist. Isiah Thomas comes through. 5 in a row from the floor. 16 for Thomas. 114-111. Assisted by the center, Bill Laimbeer. 3 assists in the period for Bill Laimbeer. Everyone's favorite whiner. Here comes center. Moses. They keep going to him like it's 1979 Moses. When he won MVP. Here we go. 45. Basket. 2 more for Moses Malone. Cannot be stopped. He has 23 points in the game. 116-111. No assist on the play. B2. No. So it's going to go to Dumars is going up. And that is going to be a 70. 79. Basket. And 2-pointer and an assist. Joe Dumars. Both teams stay hot. Both teams are just over 50% from the field now. It's 116-113. The assist goes to the F1. Spider Sally playing with 4 fouls. All right. Both teams keep scoring. It's been 29-28, and we still have over 3 minutes left in this game. This is like old early mid-'80s Pistons with Isiah and Trapuka. Here we go. B1. No. G2. Reggie Theus. Defender is Dumars, though. So it's 77 on Miss shot for Theus. And that's just miss is an 11. That's a miss 3 for Reggie Theus. Because Reggie has the miss 3 on his offensive column on 11. So that shows his propensity to shoot threes. Rebound high at center. Laimbeer 21. Moses Malone says, I got this. Wait. Okay, that was a miss by Theus. I'm pretty certain because I have my thing here. The rebound, 49 for Moses, 44 for Laimbeer. So Moses will get that offensive rebound. I was just a little bit confused for a second. Wouldn't be the first time. And so the Hawks retain possession. That was a big rebound by Malone. Center versus G2 on defense. Change foul while shooting to steal. So if I get a foul while shooting on Dumars, it becomes a steal. And it's a 0-2. Foul while shooting. Change foul while shooting to turnover, steal. So turnover Moses Malone. Just by sheer luck. Steal by Joe Dumars. And the Pistons get a break. To the F1. Let's see. E. Is he an E? No, he's a D. So Spider Sally's going to try to pull this game closer. 49. Basket and assist. Spider Sally. 3 for 3 in the quarter. Spider's been hot this half. 116. 115. Center plus 14. No. Or G2. I always wonder if it's not the center, do I not give an assist, or do I give it to the G2? I'm not even certain on that, but I think I'll give an assist to Joe Dumars on the play, and we'll see how that plays out. So Hawks ball, 116-115, getting closer. We're about 3 minutes left. F1, Livingston. And let's see what Cliffy can do here. 44 on offense. That's a missed shot by Livingston. So he's just 0 for 1 in the period. Who's going to grab this rebound? Offense F2, and a two-pointer can be made by Dominique Wilkins. If I roll a 2 to 8. 10! No good by Dominique. Can't make the shot. Dominique Wilkins. Pistons missed on one of those in the first half. I think it was a 2 to 9. Rebound, defensive F1. Spider Sally and the Pistons, the world champions, trying to get the lead back. They've had it a couple times, just very briefly. G2 Dumars. And that's going to be an 83 for Dew. 83, what does that do? That's a basket and an assist. Pistons lead. Pistons lead. Assist will be the F2. That'll be Adrian Dantley, who has not done anything since coming back. He has got 19 points. It's about his average with the Pistons. So it's 117-116. Hawks need to bounce back, as they have all game anyway. Here's Theus. And Reggie's going to roll a 12 basket. Unassisted. Clutch hoop by Theus. And Reggie has 17 on the night. He averaged about 16, so he's right on track. Pistons come right back. Dantley trying to foul out Wilkins. Wilkins doesn't foul much, but we'll see what happens here. Not playing safe. 11. Foul Dominique Wilkins. Right there. That's foul number 6 on Wilkins. He will have to leave the game. For Dominique, he leaves with 24 points. It's only the third team foul. Substitution coming. Meek's final line is going to be 24 points on 8 of 16 from the floor, 8 of 9 from the line. 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals. So Dominique, he got a couple sneaky fouls in the earlier quarters, and it led to a disqualification. So Pistons did not shoot any free throws on that play because it's still 3 team fouls for Atlanta. So they'll just inbound the ball. I've put Dennis Rodman back in for Spider Sally. Dwayne Farrell takes the place of Neek. And here we go. Laimbeer. Over Malone's defensive ability. Let's see what we got here. 0-3 on Malone is a block shot. Missed by Laimbeer. Blocked by Moses. Go for the rebound. Offensive center, Laimbeer. Great opportunity to put it right back in on a 2-8. 5, it's good. Bill Laimbeer with 13 points and 6 boards. Pistons 119-118. Got a good one. Just less than 3 minutes to go, approaching 2 minutes. Oops. G1, Doc Rivers. Now Doc versus defensive center. Doc's taking it offensively right here. That's a 77. And a 77's a missed shot. Missed 2-point attempt for Doc Rivers. He's stuck on 10 points. Rebounded by Laimbeer. Laimbeer's had a good fourth quarter. 13 points, 7 boards. Guess that's why you got to play all 4 quarters. He does have 5 fouls. It says fast break opportunity, so we're going to run it for Detroit. It would be a 2-point basket for the F2, but their fast break rating is E, I believe. Let me see. They're a D. Yeah, they go down to an E. So it is held up. So Detroit does get the ball, but no basket. F1. And that's going to go to Dennis Rodman. Change missed to 2-point basket. So a good chance here for Dennis. 76. 76. Turnover. It is a turnover. And the defense is G2. Steal 2-8. Turnover Rodman. Another steal for Reggie Theus. Rodman was in earlier and had a turnover, so he's got to watch those turnovers. Steal by Theus, who's got 3 steals in the quarter. 4, just 3 in the game, I believe. Hawks come back. F2. Dwayne Farrell in the game. He's kind of your stand. He only played half the games. He's kind of their best backup small forward just for pure shooting ability and playing small forward. So let's see what he can do. That's a 36 on offense. And that's a missed shot for Dwayne Farrell. Rebound. High at G1. Doc, 13. Thomas, 14. Isiah with a big rebound there for Detroit. Might have to find somebody else for Dwayne Farrell. He's not a great shot. I think he was in the lower 40s. Here comes Dantley. Dantley's going to back his way in, trying to expand the lead. It's a 32 for AD. And he does draw the foul. And it's on the G1. That's Doc. That's 5 on Rivers. 4 team fouls. Non-shooter. Once again, Dantley just working him down. We're down to minute and a half, 2 minutes. G2, Dumars. This would be a huge shot. Defender will be Farrell. And that's a 70 on Dwayne Farrell. Foul while shooting. Farrell not making the right decisions. And we'll check and see if Joe Dumars hits the shot on the foul. 79, no. So 2 shots for Dumars. He's had a good day at the line. Not going to hex it. And we get a 33, and that's easily good. 58, good. Dumars hits 2 free throws. And it's 121-118 Detroit. Atlanta's going to call a quick timeout. All right, doing some trickery here. Reggie Theus at 6'7" is going to move in at small forward. He only has 2 fouls, so he can't foul out. John Battle, a better shooter and a more regular player than Dwayne Farrell, is coming into the game. Hawks down by 3. Let's count the cards, see how much time. About a minute and a half. Minute and a half left. Pistons with a big comeback. We'll see if they can hang on. F2. It's going to be Reggie Theus. Defender is Dantley. And that is going to be, I don't even know what that is. A 0. We're going to go 40. 40 on Dantley's card. What is that? Basket. Reggie Theus. over Dantley. Maybe that's why they needed Mark Aguirre. Maybe Mark Aguirre plays like 5% better defense. Who knows? We don't know for sure. But anyway, we got a good game here. It's 121-120. Pistons with the ball. G2. Ball goes into Dumars. Dumars going to take it. 113. 13's a missed shot by Dumars. 2-pointer. Rebound. John Battle. A streak shooter. Comes the Hawks. G1 Doc. Defender is Thomas. And that's a 67 on Isaiah's defensive card. You can see it. I can see it. That's a basket. That's a basket for Doc Rivers. And an assist. And that assist is going to go to F2, Reggie Theus. So, with, I don't even know what I've got left in this deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically a minute left. Just under a minute left. The Pistons are now trailing 122-121. Another high-scoring quarter, 36-35 going here. F2. A reliable player like Dantley. All foul while shooting are 2-point basket plus foul. This could be very huge for AD. 71. Missed shot. Adrian Dantley can't seem to buy a bucket. That's 71. Pure miss by Dantley. 0 for 3 since coming back. Rebound. Big one here. High at G2. Well, 9 for Dumars. Battle. 12. John Battle rebounds, and the Hawks cling to a 1-point lead. G1. Doc. Straight shot. 14. On Doc's card is a basket. No assist. Sweet shot by Doc. And now the Pistons need to somehow get a 3-point attempt up, perhaps. Well, I don't know. They don't have a lot of great 3-point shooters. And there was no assist on the play, so that leaves an extra card in the deck. I'll have to look up coaching 3-point attempts, perhaps here. Well, I've been searching over the rule book. I don't see any coaching threes type of thing. I think there's an intentional foul type of rule I can use. Maybe save a card. I'm not sure. We're just going to go normal. That's going to be a G. Oh, there's a foul while shooting. It's a 2-point basket plus foul again. This would be huge if Dumars could pull that off. So that's a good point. That's a good possibility. And I roll a 75 for Dumars is fouled. Foul while shooting. Nope. Foul, defensive center, Moses Malone. Team foul number 6. So Dumars will get 2 free throws. Can't believe Dantley could not come through in the clutch. That's why they pay him the big bucks. And an 85 on that free throw is going to be no good. Because he rolled a 4, not a 9 to 11. And so Dumars, a 63, he will make free throw number 2, but a big miss there by Joe Dumars. 124-122. Timeout. Riddle me this. When intentional foul is used without the offense using the stall strategy, draw an action card from the unused action cards instead of the action deck to determine the players involved. Follow the instructions above. The only results of the intentional foul strategy will be a non-shooting foul or a turnover. So, any non-turnover result on either the offensive or the defensive card is changed to a non-shooting foul. A foul while shooting is also changed to a non-shooting foul. If a turnover occurs, no foul is called. Play the turnover as normal. So it looks like you grab something off the non-action deck because the offense is not playing stall. I'm not doing that. So anyway, I'm going to use a random deck over here, and this will be the Hawks' possession right here. I'm going to place it right here. So it's center versus defender. So whatever I roll on Lambeer's card, if it's not a turnover, it's going to be a foul. So let's find out what Moses has the ball. Lambeer's hawking him, and Lambeer will probably foul out here, but we're trying to intentionally foul. So 41 on Lambeer. That is going to be a foul on Lambeer, not a basket, because he was trying to foul. So that's foul number 6 on Bill Lambeer. Moses Malone is going to go to the line for 2 shots. The Buddha, James Edwards, comes in for Moses Malone. So they saved themselves a card, but Moses has got to be a bricklayer at the line here. And we roll a 39, and that'll be good for Moses. This is the big one. 83. 3-6. 83 is good. Moses makes both free throws, and this game, for all intents and purposes, is over. Good clutch free throws by Malone. Sorry, Dave. Pistons cannot get any luck whenever I play them. Isiah Thomas, who had a terrible first 3 quarters, gets the ball. And we got a 36. 36 is a miss. Missed 2. He was missing way too many shots early in the game. The rebound goes to the offensive G2, Joe Dumars, who had a fantastic game. Whoops. He's got 32 points, and they give him a putback, 2-7, to make this game closer, and he makes it. So Joe Dumars sinks a putback bucket at the buzzer. Both teams score 39 points in quarter number 4. And the hometown world champion Pistons come all the way back from 18 down, but can't pull out the victory. It's 126-124. What an interesting game. Teams shot 50%, 50.0 from the floor, both teams. And if you'd asked me that when the Pistons shot 23% in that first quarter, that they'd finish at 50, that would have really surprised me. So Atlanta Hawks, pretty close on most parts. Turnover-wise, Pistons had 20, only 14 for the Hawks. Fouls, 30-27 in favor of the Hawks, actually. And both teams had players foul out. Dominique, 24 points. Moses Malone, probably the MVP with 25 points, 17 boards. The team just hung on. Pistons got down a little too big, a little early, and they withstood. The Hawks withstood every rally. So Reggie Theus finished with 19. Antoine Carr, 9 on 2 of 6. John Koncak actually had 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 4 block shots. He was just blocking shots when he came in the second period. Pistons led by Adrian Dantley, but he missed multiple times down the stretch. Would Mark Aguirre have hit those shots to put Detroit in the victory column? Who knows? Lambeer finish was 13-7, but had a really rough start. Isiah Thomas finished with 16 points on 6 of 18. Just could not throw it in the ocean. And his defense wasn't that great. You saw it in the final minute there. He couldn't stop Doc Rivers. It seems like both he and Dumars have quite a little range there. 4-46 on Dumars' defense, and 50-83 for Thomas on defense. So there's some, Dumars, I expect him to be a little better than that on defense, but maybe that's not as bad as I think. I'm still relatively new to bank shot basketball. John Sally, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Vinny with 8 points. Dennis with 11 points and 9 boards. Good effort, but they just could not pull it out. So anyway, final from Detroit. Pistons fall 126-124 to the Atlanta Hawks and Moses Malone. Have a good one.